really good news with this is that, well, as some may imagine, you know, we're pretty close to maxing out our build, right? You know, getting to the final level and whatnot, and we can get into the OP levels. However, I definitely feel like my build can be better optimized. For sure, you know. We have a lot of class mods, both legendary and really solid ones.
Which is superior?
The killer cat class mod is really solid. The legendary cat class mod is the one you want to get, I believe. But yeah. But I got the legendary binder. And so what this does is it gives you +5 into rec, which means when an enemy is phase locked, fire rate and gun damage increases with all gun types. That's pretty powerful. Honestly, that's actually kind of overpowered. So getting a 60% weapon buff is a pretty solid buff, honestly. There's nothing added to kinetic reflection, that's cool, but suspension, which adds +3 second duration, you know, we can easily, you know, get this up to adding at least about another 6 seconds included. The other thing this does is give us a cooldown rate bonus. So if we find a harder Bone of the Ancients, or you know, one of these E-Tech you know, relics, they can potentially boost cooldown rate by like 30%. You know, we can take that 30% plus our 26%, and that's like 56% cooldown rate. Which I believe our action skill cooldown's like 13 seconds. Right. So 50% of 13 would be 6.5 seconds. Which honestly is not that bad. And that's before we even factor in Quicken, which will add another 30%. So in actuality, we could potentially get it upwards of 80%, which means we can just spam phase locking.
That was interesting.
Like within seconds apart from phase locking, you know, so and depending with the right weapons and setup, we could potentially boost that even further. I know that there's the little Eevee, which is like a Bioshock reference, but that gun, specifically when you get kills or reloaded, I believe it boosts cooldown speed, but not by very much. But, you know, at this point, you know, we have a very fast cooldown in general without cooldown buffs. And with cooldown buffs, it would take less than 6 seconds to get our skill back. Which basically means that we can consistently spam this, basically. You know, and so because of that, you know, I see great potential.
That was fun.
So I already killed the badass stalker. I don't know if it's gonna spawn in another one.
Satisfying.
But if it does, that's cool, so I'll take that XP. Cooldown rate. Cooldown rate.